Although what appears seems finite, seems particular, seems precise, seems limited, it refers to the limitlessness. It refers to the limitless, to the transparency of being. The true I am, the true I, the one self. In your experience, there is a looking out, and there is an impression as a result of this looking out of various separate forms that refer to your standing apart from a perception that is not apart from you. As you relax into being, you are relaxing in the formless self. You are relaxing in your true nature. You are relaxing in the reality of being that has no form, no shape, no size, no beginning, no end, no direction, no ambition, no goal, and no sense of lack. The reality that perceives this perception right now does not know lack, has no personal interest. Is not perceiving problems, and therefore is not attempting to fix any problems. Like in your night dream, all sorts of night perceptions arise in your dreams, your dream state. You are resting as the dreamer, and you have no interest whatsoever in repairing any of the appearances that appear in your night dream. Your true nature in your night dream is the resting state, the dreaming resting state. In the waking state, your true nature is the resting being. Not a human being, but pure being. When you contemplate your experience, you may find thoughts, perceptions, and sensations. You may perceive an oak tree in the yard. You may perceive a thought, a memory, an image. You may perceive a bodily sensation. But that perceives is not limited by the oak tree, or is not defined by the thought that is being perceived, nor by the bodily sensation that is arising. That perceives the reality of the perception is not defined by what is perceived. Remains undefined, and there is a recognition that definitions are at the mind level, and the reality that perceives the mind does not need to be defined by the mind that it perceives. Many of us have a sense of what I'm talking about. Presence, the consciousness, the awareness, effortless beingness. But in some cases, we associate this consciousness with the body-mind. We say it is my consciousness, it has a name, it has an age. We give it a name, an age. We give it a time of birth. We give it all sorts of associations with families and friends. We give it all sorts of associations with memories and thoughts and stories. And before long, this formless awareness becomes a person that is born, that is living in time and space, that has a history, that has some personal traumas or personal characteristics, and that is trying to improve itself and have better relationships and have a better life as a person. And as that process goes unexamined, we experience a sense of physicality and a sense of opacity and a sense of physicality that has an imprisoning impression, a limiting quality, and of course a sense of frustration and a desire for freedom. But this freedom that we desire is what we are, what we truly are. Like in your night dream, you dream that you are in a room that has no doors and windows. But in fact, you are not in that situation. Upon waking up, you realize, thank goodness, all is well. But from the perspective of being identified as this is really what is happening, these walls have no doors and no windows, and I am this person in this room, from that perspective, there is a sense of despair, and the dream is not a sweet, happy dream. And in our night dream upon waking up, the traces of the angst in the night dream, they are reinforced by the download of the virus of separation, the download of, oh, I am this person. What am I going to do with my day today? What is going to happen to me today? I hope good things will happen, not too many bad things, I hope. But the virus of separation is there. Even though there may be some good experiences during the day, the bad ones are there right at the end of the good. Because if there is no bad after the good, and if there's good, then the virus of separation and identification is not there. So, in the waking state is where you do your homework, where you do your inquiry. You don't do it in your night dreams, but in the waking state, you do your inquiry. Am I not this borderless awareness? Upon what basis have I accepted and adopted the belief that I am a mortal body-mind that is born in time and space? Is it just a societal hysteria that somehow I am part of it? Is it time for me to really look and let go of this hysteria and only live according to my actual understanding, not to my borrowed understanding? And your understanding comes to you upon your inquiry, upon your investigation, and upon your probing into the self. You are that. You are this borderless, effortless presence that has no gender, no age, no color, no size, no density, no beginning, no definition. You are that. But you cannot find that in your thinking. You cannot find that in your analytic mind. You find it in your being, in your reality. Because you are the reality of being. So the finding, the awakening, the discovery, the revelation is a direct revelation from the self to the self. Thou art that. You are the self. You do not need to go out to the mind to find out what you are. You go directly to awareness, which is ever-presence, infinite presence, borderless presence, the reality of your experience. The self is not judgmental, does not judge others, nor does judge itself. It is judgment-free. There is no final judgment. Every final judgment is when you judge yourself. Hopefully, this is the final judgment. So then we are done with that folly, with that folly, fallacy, with that foolishness of imagining that there is a possibility of standing outside of something and judging it, which is pure mentation, which is pure projection, mentation, which is an avoidance of the contemplation. Because in the contemplation there is no judgment. There is simply resting as being, which is love. Love is a resting as being.